A year ago, I was stuck in a cycle of inconsistency, feeling drained, and now, a year later, I'm thriving with healthy habits that keep me energized, focused, and excited for the day ahead. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 10 healthy habits that are going to transform your 2025 and help you to become the healthiest version of yourself. Welcome back to my channel. If you've not watched my videos before, then hi, my name is Fleur. This is your space, all things self-development, where we are going to be focusing on growing your mindset and helping you to become the best version of yourself. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then let's get on straight to the video. Number one is to create a routine that works well for you. I mean, for you, not someone else. Not for who you see on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or your best friend or your parents or whoever it is that you may be stalking online. It's not about them, it's about you. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, right? So why are you setting a routine that works for someone else or following a routine that works for someone else when it's your life? It needs to be working for you. Forget what's trending on social media. Forget those morning routine videos and the night routine videos that even I myself have made. It's great to be inspired by these things, but at the end of the day, you have to make a routine that works for you, because if it doesn't work for you, then you're not going to feel motivated to live that life. You're not going to feel energized to get out of bed in the morning and to do that morning routine. The key is finding what energizes you. The key is finding what makes you want to live a different life, because once you have found that passion to get out of bed in the morning, you will spark flames in yourself and you will want to proceed to live that life. When I was trying so hard to create these routines for myself, and so following routines that maybe other people did that I thought would be aesthetic or trendy for me to follow or that might be able to work, I was never able to connect with the highest version of myself or to feel like I was doing something that was going to add value into my life, and that's because it wasn't right for me. But when I realized, okay, these are the set things that I know that if I do in the morning, this is going to make me feel better, or these are the set things that I know that if I do in the evening that will help me de-stress, and I decided to create a routine which was specific for each of those things, I generally felt great about my life. So once you've figured out what energizes you and you put that time and effort into creating a routine that works well for you, there's not going to be that little version of you inside that's saying I don't want to do it, because you'll be excited to do it. If you need further help on how to create a morning or night routine, I actually have separate videos on my channel that you can go and watch so that you can understand how it is that you can create the perfect routine for yourself. Number two is to move your body daily. This doesn't mean that you have to move it the way that everybody else is moving it. I'm not saying that you have to go and get yourself a gym membership if you don't feel ready to, although if you do need confidence when it comes to the gym, again, I have a video for that on my channel. But there are so many different ways that you can move your body that is going to be good for you, like walking, Pilates, yoga, stretching, sports, like doing football, badminton, tennis, anything that inspires you to get moving. As long as you are actually getting up from your chair, even if it means walking around your room for a little bit and listening to some music, or something I love to do is to dance around in my room like no one's watching, because no one is watching. And that is the best thing for me to do when I'm feeling a bit slumpy. I'll just put on some music that makes me feel good and I will just dance. Honestly, just move your body and try to do this for at least half an hour every day, because it will help you to feel a lot more motivated. No wonder you feel lazy and you feel tired and you want to go back to bed when all you've been doing is sat at a desk all day or lying down on your bed all day. You need to get yourself moving, because once you get yourself moving, there's no coming back from that. Number three is to track your thoughts, but to also be aware of the negative ones that you have. I understand that we don't want to have negative thoughts, but that doesn't mean that you should ignore all the negative thoughts that you might be having. What I do with myself is if I see a negative thought come up, I won't instantly say, no, I cannot have this thought. I try and sit down with myself and I say, why? Why am I having this thought? Where might it have come from? What memory might it have come from? Who might have said something to trigger this? Or was there something that triggered this? Can I pinpoint who it is that made me feel this way, or the first time I felt this way? And why is it now that I'm feeling this way again? There's so many questions that you can ask yourself that will really help you to understand the way that you're feeling. So for example, for me, sometimes in my friendships, I will get anxious that they're judging me, or that they think I'm weird, or that I'm not this, or I'm that, or I'm this, or I'm that. And I tend to forget these are actually healthy friendships with people that are not going to judge me, because I have created healthy friendships in this era of my life. However, a good 5 to 10 years ago, even a few years ago, I didn't have healthy friendships in my life. And so it was normal for me to be worried about being judged, or being seen as weird, or too loud, or too this, or too that. Panicked energy is still inside of me. I'd like to call it the inner child version of me, still panicking whenever something happens. The first thing I will think is this too much? Am I being too much? Am I saying too much? Do I need to leave them alone? Are they tired of me? Are they this? Are they that? I want you to close your eyes right now and think about this image with me. Think about your younger self. The younger self that was judged, that was bullied, that was left behind, that always felt ignored by other people, that never felt seen. Think about them sitting in the corner of your room. Maybe they're crying. Maybe they have their head down. I want you to go over to them and raise their head and give them a hug and tell them what it is that you wish someone would have said to you back then. So for me, when I was thinking of this, I pretended in my head that this current version of myself was going over to that little Fleur that always gets panicky in friendships. And I said to her, Fleur, you now have friends that care about you and that love you and that would never dream of judging you. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. Things are different now. You are seen, you are heard, you are understood, you are loved. And you know what? If you are ever being judged, these people are not meant to be in your life, and that's okay. And you can move on and find bigger and better things. And that healed me. So I want you to try that the next time that you have a negative thought, instead of just pretending that it was never there or proceeding to tell yourself more negative thoughts, because that's not going to help. It's just going to make things much worse. Another thing that I've embraced when it comes to my mentality is having the lucky girl syndrome, or it could be the lucky guy syndrome, or the lucky person syndrome, whatever it may be. When something bad happens to you, you have to try and think of the positive, because if you keep saying, oh, I hate my life, or bad things always happen to me, or this or that, you are asking for more negative energy to come into your life. Whether if you switch that mindset and you say, I'm so lucky, the universe works in my favor, God works in my favor. And it might be so dramatic, but when you do this for every single little thing in your life, you will feel lucky, and then you will attract lucky things happening in your life. Number 4 is to master the art of saying no and creating boundaries. No isn't selfish. Saying no does not make you a selfish person, okay? It doesn't. It's self-care. That's the difference, because you are protecting yourself. Let's think about it like this. Another little image in your head. If you went out with a friend and someone random came up to your friend and asked for their number, and your friend is clearly uncomfortable and they say, no, I don't want to give you my number, but then they keep proceeding to ask for your friend's number, are you going to sit back and think, well, you know what, let's give them a shot. Maybe she'll come round, or maybe he'll come round. No, you are going to go over to that person and say, excuse me, my friend said no like 5 times. Can you please back away? You're making them uncomfortable. If you respect that other people might have boundaries, why can't you respect that you have boundaries? When you feel like it's right for you to say no, why are you saying yes? And I know why you're saying yes, because I used to be this person. I used to say yes because I wanted other people to be happy. But then at the end of the day, that's more selfish than saying no. Because if you say yes, but instead you wish you would have said no, the whole time that you are doing that thing in which you wanted to say no for, you aren't going to be having a good time, meaning that everybody else who's with you isn't going to be having the best time that they could have, because they're going to be with someone that didn't even really want to be there. And so you saying yes, even though you wanted to say no, is more selfish than you saying straight out, no, I don't feel comfortable going, or I would rather not, or I'm busy, or I need time to myself, because then at least they can go knowing that they're with other people that really want to be there instead of people that have just said yes for the sake of looking good or pleasing everybody else. Protect your time and your energy by committing to what truly aligns with your priorities and your values, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Number 5 is to learn something new every single day. There are 24 hours in the day. Tell me, why are you spending 6 to 8 of them doom scrolling? What do you get out of doom scrolling on TikTok? What value do you get out of that? Tell me at least 5 things that you might have learned from those 8 hours that you doom scroll. I'm waiting. There isn't anything, is there? Or maybe there might be one thing, or maybe it's that you laughed quite a lot, which is always a good thing. You didn't learn anything from those hours that you were doom scrolling, and in fact, you came out of it feeling worse than you did before you went into it. So instead of spending all that time doom scrolling, I'm not saying that you can't ever go on social media, I'm just saying use it for your advantage. We have YouTube, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have all of these platforms where there are people that are where you want to be who have made videos about how they have managed to get to that point in their life. So why don't you watch those videos? Or why don't you watch more TED Talks? Or why don't you learn about the world and earth? Learn about something important to you. That's valuable time that you're going to take something out of it that's not only going to be good for that present moment in which you're learning about it, are going to be 4 hours that are going to stay valuable for the rest of your life instead of 4 hours of entertainment that's only great for those specific 4 hours and that will later on make you feel worse than you did before watching it. Expanding your mind daily is going to help you grow and progress in ways that you don't expect. And if you want to become the highest version of yourself, this is one of the most important steps that you need to take. When I am doing absolutely anything, I have a podcast or a video playing in the background, and it is always 9 times out of 10 something that is teaching me something. I'm not saying that I don't have those moments where I'm watching Netflix. Of course I do. I'm human. I need things that make me feel comforted. But 9 times out of 10, if you're finding me looking at a screen, it's going to be a motivational video. When I watch these videos all the time and I'm constantly taking in this valuable information, it is forced into my brain. And before I know it, because I'm hearing the same information being spewed back at me over and over and over again, I become that information. I become confident. I become resilient. I become independent. I become powerful. I become the highest version of myself because I am pushing myself into being that person. I'm living her life. I am thinking her thoughts. I have her mindset because I am watching these videos that make me think that way. So it's a lot more powerful than you could ever expect. You just have to start watching them. Number 6 is to focus on gratitude, even in the tough times and even on the bad days. Life isn't always perfect, but there is always something to be grateful for. These posters on my wall, or this light, or this salt lamp, or the bed that's behind me and the sheets that are on it, or these fairy lights that make my room comfortable, or this microphone that enables the audio to be better for my videos, or the phone that is recording these videos. Everything in this room are things that I can be grateful for. The clothes I'm wearing, the jewelry that I have, the makeup that's on my face, my body, my hair, the roof that is above my head. All of these things are things that I can be grateful for. Take a moment while you're listening to this. I want you to look around your room or look around wherever it is that you may be. Choose 3 to 5 things that you know you wouldn't be able to live without if they weren't in your room, or that create so much happiness when you come across them or when you use them. Be grateful for these things, because before you know it, your life is going to be completely different. I won't have this room anymore in 5 to 6 months' time. And every day I try to be grateful for it and love it and cherish it, because I know I'm never going to be in this era of my life ever again. So be grateful for the small things, because one day they're going to be big things that you are going to end up missing. Number 7 is to balance your eating habits. Forget the all or nothing mindset. We don't want that here in 2025. Instead, what I like to stick to is the 80-20 balance or 70-30 balance. And this is where you eat healthily for 70% or 80% of the time, and then for the 30% or 20%, you allow yourself to eat things that make you feel happy or that might be considered as unhealthy, or to have that pizza or to have that cookie or those cupcakes when you're with your friends, because that's the healthy balance that you need. It makes such a difference in my life, and it changes my mindset and the way that I feel about my body when I am nourishing myself with foods that make me feel good about myself. And it is important to have that fine line. Yes, you need to be eating healthily, but don't stop yourself from treating yourself every now and then, because if you do that, you're going to create a negative relationship with food. And once you've created a negative relationship with food, it is very difficult to go back. I'm telling that from someone that has been down that road. You need to be careful with how you perceive food. It is fuel. It can be difficult to fall in love with healthy foods, but the way I like to look at it is that everything that you see on the outside, your skin, your body, if you glow or if you look tired or if you look dull, it all comes from the way that you treat the inside. So how can you expect yourself to feel loved if the inside of your body doesn't feel loved first? You need to be focusing internal and external. Once you research into gut health and into nourishing meals and you decide to go down that path, you won't come back, because you will realize that it will make you feel more energized, more productive than you have ever felt before. And when you have that healthy relationship, the times where you are treating yourself, you'll be excited to go back to the nourishing meals, and the times where you are nourishing yourself, you'll be excited for the little treat moments that you get with your friends. So it's a win-win. Number 8 is to stay hydrated. But staying hydrated is so simple, so effective. I think I'm drinking water every second of my day, and it generally makes a difference. If you're someone that suffers with headaches, I know you hate to hear it, but drink some water. Just try and aim for 2 liters a day. I know it sounds like a lot. What I have is I have this water bottle that actually has different times, which helps me to stay drinking my water. And I refill this about 2 to 3 times a day, and it helps me to feel loved, to feel nourished, to feel energized. Because if you didn't know, not drinking enough water is actually going to decrease your productivity levels. If you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling tired, if you have a headache, these are all symptoms of somebody that is not drinking enough water. So although you hate to hear it, go get yourself some water. Number 9 is to limit your screen time. Something that we all love to hear. I know I definitely love hearing this, but you know what? I watched this video recently and it was all about how to decrease your screen time, and something that I learnt is that having your screen time appear on your phone, which is what I have now, is so helpful, because then it makes you realise how much you are spending on your phone. So when it gets to the 4-hour mark, you're probably going to look at that and think, maybe I should touch some grass, maybe I should go on a walk, maybe I should pick up a book. Because honestly, the more time that you spend on your phone, the more time you're missing out on in your life to create more memories that you can look back on. We never look back on our life and think about the times that we're scrolling on social media. We never look back on our life and think about the times that we were comparing ourselves to other people. We look back on our life and we look about the moments that we went on a picnic with our friends, or that we played sports with our friends, or that we spent some time in the sun, or we went to the beach, or we went on a walk. Those are the memories that we look back to. So if that's the case, that just shows how important it is for us to spend less time on our phone and to stop doom scrolling and to actually give back to yourself. Just start by allowing yourself to set little goals. So for me right now, one of my goals is to not go on my phone first thing when I wake up and last thing before I go to bed. And I have generally felt a massive impact. It helps me to connect with myself. It also helps me to actually get on with getting out of bed and going to sleep at the right time and not at 11 or 12 p.m. Seeing how much time you've actually spent on social media can be a big wake-up call, and sometimes we all need that call. Number 10, and what I would like to say is one of the most important ones, is to make sure that you celebrate your small wins. Growing up, my dad always used to tell me, work hard, but play hard. I always used to laugh when he would tell me this, because I'd be like, but Dad, how do you have a balance of both? And honestly, my dad is one of those people who is so hardworking, but he also gives to his family and friends just as much as he gives to his work. And that is what I like to call the perfect balance of working hard, but also playing hard. Yes, it's important to hustle. It's important to be productive. It's important to work towards your goals. You know what else is important? Giving back to yourself and celebrating the small wins and all those little goals that you've actually achieved. Instead of focusing on the next big goal, think about the goal that you've just achieved, because about 4 months ago, this was a dream for you to achieve. So why are you not celebrating it? Take yourself out for a coffee. Go to the restaurant with your friend. Go out with your friends. Have a movie night with yourself. Take the night off. Do something that makes you happy. Just celebrate yourself. Rewarding yourself helps you to stay motivated and helps you to make the journey even more enjoyable. Because as I've heard in so many videos that I've watched and from people that have told me this, the destination is not the most important part. It is the journey itself and the person that you become on that journey and the things that you learn and the people that you meet. So if that's the case, then in order to get to that final destination, that big win, you need to celebrate all the small wins to get to that point. And that leads us to the end of this video. I hope that this will help you to become the healthiest and highest version of yourself this year. As I always say at the end of my videos, I'm not suggesting that you have to implicate all 10 of these habits all at once. Maybe just choose 1 or 2 of them, implicate them this week, and then maybe next week choose another 1 or 2. And eventually you'll start to see that snowball effect of feeling a lot more energized and productive as your weeks and months go on. If you liked this video, then please subscribe to my channel to watch more content like this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!